On today's show, we have many short dreams with interesting symbols. And then, of course, Dianne attends an award ceremony almost nude. Stay tuned to find out what these dreams mean. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hello and welcome, everybody.
This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the very personal communication between the spirit world and you on your journey. That's why we focus on dreams. If you want to know what you're meant to be doing in your life right now, at this very moment, then look no further than your dreams. Through analyzing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you the superpowers that you have or that you might have, what would make you magnificent, and the bumps in life that are holding you back. These bumps are not in the way, they are the way. To get your dream analyzed on our show, go to https://dream-analysis.com/podcast. Fill in the form and submit your dream to the show there. Or simply email radioshow@dream-analysis.com. That's all you have to do. So let's start off, Sandy. What have we got?
Well, before we start off, we got exciting things. I know we announced it last week, but we're going to say it one more time. We have it's kind of a website out there that allows you to go see the free dream clinic, and you'll only be able to watch the last one. I realize it was close to 2 weeks ago, but hey, you might learn something. So go out there and listen. You go to Free Dream Clinic, all run together, freedreamclinic.com, and you'll be able to see them. And Saturday, we started our healing course. It's our, what's it called? DTG,
The Dream
Tracker's Guide. And it's a healing course to help people heal childhood traumas. And that just started. So if somebody hears this today and possibly would like to get in it, is there a way for them to finagle their way in, even though you started?
Of course there is. You can always go to our website, dream-analysis.com/courses. Click on the button there to book a call with me, and we can maybe look at a dream and see if that course would be a fit for you.
Of course. Exciting. Yes. Okay. And we also have our mentorship. We usually run it just once a year, but this year we decided to try to give May a chance to see if we get people into this. It's a 9-month course and it's exciting and you learn so much. And I'll tell you, I'm amazed at how much people are changed at the end. Do you have any details on that, Michael?
They're definitely on the website. Again, dream-analysis.com/courses. Scroll to the end there, and the mentorship course, I think, is the second last one. And there is a lot of detail on the website about it. It's just a very comprehensive course. Like Sandy said, it's 9 months. It's actually a little bit longer. And then we add on a bonus that gives you another extra couple of months at the end of that. But that's a secret. You're only going to find out what that is if you talk to us. So it's definitely a course you want to talk to us about. If you're thinking about doing it, we'll tell you whether it's a fit or not for you. Usually, if you have a strong interest in dreams, if you're a therapist and you want to work with other people using dreams, obviously it's an ideal course. Now, Sandy,
Excellent.
Can we get to talking about the dreams we have lined up for the show?
Yes, I'm finally ready. Anyways, so you had a conversation with Randy a couple weekends ago. He was here up in Seattle, and he had a very interesting symbol that he brought to Michael. And the symbol was Airbnb. What does it mean and why? Very interesting.
So what I liked about this was he said, hey, look, I've got a dream fully worked out. It just has an Airbnb symbol in it. And the dreamer's had that symbol a few times and I don't know why. But already know what the dream means, but why does the Airbnb symbol show up? And so when I channeled on it, I got that it's very unique for this particular dreamer. And the way I got it was, if you think about what an Airbnb is, if you have a bedroom in your house, you can rent it out. And so it meant that the dreamer was concerned about money issues. And as soon as I said that, Randy just laughed. He goes, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That's exactly her problem. Then she also had another dream where a man was shot dead. And normally that can be a good thing in a dream. People dying in a dream is not what it is like in reality. It isn't about, oh, somebody's going to die. It's usually about some negative influence dying. If the focus is on the shooting, then it's typically about there being a lot of anger that you were around. But here, it's somebody's shot dead, and the dreamer tells her friend who's with her, not to worry about it, it'll all be okay. And then that seemed weird, it doesn't fit the normal meaning of the symbol. And so again, when I channeled on that, I was told that she's concerned about neighborhoods. And it turns out that she works in real estate. And of course, neighborhoods are the big thing. If something happens in the neighborhood, she's worried about the clients that she's sold houses to or is selling houses to that are looking in those neighborhoods and hoping that it won't have an impact, et cetera, on her business. Whereas you would think it would actually be about masculine energy, not for this dreamer. But it just goes to show why it's important to be really careful when you're looking at dream dictionaries, including my own dream dictionary, which you can get at dream-analysis.com. And you can just enter your details there and get the dictionary for free. It has thousands of symbols. But you need to understand if a dream has the normal standard meaning for that symbol for you, or if you have a personal association with the symbol. We can all have personal associations. And it's safe to say that about 15% of the symbols you're going to have in your dreams are very unique to you. They will mean one thing for everybody else on the planet, but for you, there's something special. And they can throw you off, which is one of the reasons you always have to be able to channel if you're interpreting dreams. Incidentally, on our mentorship course, we teach you how to channel so that you don't get caught on those things. And it's always great satisfaction to get a symbol that is personal for the dreamer, figure it out, and then deliver that interpretation to them and say, how does that fit? And it's really good to get that positive feedback. So
awesome. That's exciting. Well, cool. Let's move on. This next one is from Amy, and it's called Bengal Tiger. Bengal Tiger and the letters HIUR in gold. That's it. That's her entire dream. Nothing like a one-liner.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's always interesting when somebody says, hey, I've got this dream and this is all it is. What can you make of that? And this was at an event Sandy and I attended. And I did free interpretations for people all weekend long at it. It was a lot of fun. Sandy held the energy for the place. But anyway, what can that be about? Well, it's about, so we know with tigers, and Bengal tigers are the most common tiger. So it's about career. I don't think I've ever seen tiger not be about career. And it is because of the colors, black and orange. They're always going to be about career. And so this dreamer is being told what her gift is in the dream. We expect something because of the gold lettering. It tells us that she has a special healing ability, but her special ability helps people to show up as who they are. And she can also work with large groups and create a space for compromise, discussions, and more. And when I said that to her, and how I got that out of it was the HIUR. That's like, hi, you are, as a question. If somebody was just to walk up to you and you said, hi, you are, you're giving them the space to introduce themselves. But again, with the emphasis being on who they know they are. I hope that makes sense. But really cool. And then it turns out, that's she worked in government administrations, working on special legislation to protect cultural minorities and so on. Not sure how you say that, but it totally fit with what she already did, which we didn't know in advance. But it's really cool to see it as a specific gift that somebody brought with them. And of course, her special ability that the guide said, where she can hold space for large groups to sit down and have discussions. Holding space is not an easy thing because people go in with agendas. They're ready to fight for what they want, or even just to fight because they've been oppressed or whatever way they feel. So to be able to allow disparate groups to sit together in a space where they're going to talk and come to conclusions, like thrash out agendas and legislation in her case, that's really an amazing gift to have.
Wow, that sure is. That's amazing. Okay, I'm ready to move on. So the next amazingly short dream is from Ellen, and it's In a Room with Mushrooms. Interesting title. In a room with mushrooms, climbing on them, a dinosaur shows up and tells me to eat wasabi. Wow, Michael, What in the world do you get out of that one?
So it's a really funny dream, isn't it? Um, and it gives away more than you would think. So first of all, the main question you would ask is, do you like mushrooms? From this dreamer? And of course she does. And then it's like, okay, do you like magic mushrooms? And of course she does. And so when I challenged on it, I was told, well, the wasabi is about a digestive system issue that she has. And she's like, yeah, I know I have that. And apparently wasabi is good for that. I didn't know that. It does particularly positive things for your digestive system. I've only ever heard that it's super hot and you want to stay away from it. But what do I know? So that's what she was being told by the dream. And it's funny too then. So we see the mushrooms and she was climbing these mushrooms. So that kind of said, okay, there's a lot of mushrooms in her body. Her guides told her that she's actually allergic to mushrooms. She can't have them. And but she can have the ones that make you high. And she was very happy to hear that. She didn't want to be giving up those, which I thought was funny. You know, not the ones that give you sustain your life. No, these are the ones. Of course, it's not her name. Her name isn't Dylan. But anyway, she was happy to hear that too. But then we come to a part of the dream that's kind of weird. Why would a dinosaur show up in your dream and tell you something? And this is kind of a theme that played out over this weekend. We encountered people who had dreams about infiltrators or walk-ins. And we don't cover that much on the show. I sometimes say infiltrators, all right, but I never really go into what they are. But basically, she has an entity or an infiltration, and the infiltrator is passing her information in a kind of a protective way, saying, look, this is what you need to do. This is going to help you. But it's still not good for her to have that infiltrator. So, of course, as soon as I analyzed the dream, I asked her, did she want to be cleared? And of course she did. So we got the infiltrator out. But very strange to see the infiltrator helping her, but yet at the same time giving itself away by the very fact that it helped her. And so here's something to realize. If you have issues like this, if you have infiltrators, if you're in situations where you're open to that sort of thing happening, most of us are not. But if you are, these infiltrators often call themselves protectors, and they see themselves as protectors of you, which is kind of nuts. It's like they take you hostage and then claim to be your protector. And so this one was kind of displaying that kind of detail. And why a dinosaur? Well, anything that's unevolved, and dinosaurs, of course, go way, 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 way back. So they would symbolize something that's unevolved. So a dinosaur or anything that seems unevolved, like a shark attacking you, they can all represent entities. And that's what it represents in this dream. So a dream that helps her by telling her that she has particular issues, and she was trying to solve those digestive system issues. She knew she had them. But then also revealing that she had a problem that she needed to deal with on a spiritual level too. I thought it was quite interesting for such a short dream.
Yeah, all of that in one itty bitty little dream. That is amazing. Well, our next dream is not that short. And so this one is called Instructor, and it's by Dianne. I am at a big conference/workshop. I appear to be an instructor at the college level. Woohoo! I have become friendly with two young adult students there, a young man and a young woman. Both are very pleasant. I like them both. They have both invited me to their homes after the conference ends for the day. I have accepted both invitations, but now don't know which one to go to first. I am not sure if I can make it to both and may have to choose one. I don't want to hurt either of their feelings and would enjoy both invitations. I am talking to the young man who is reminding me and checking in about my going to his house. A quandary. The scene changes. I'm at my house, not my childhood home. It is where I live as an adult in the dream. We are preparing for an award ceremony. The event will take place in a covered area outside of my house, like a carport. It seems like I'm in charge and, in fact, maybe getting the award. Woohoo! I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear to the event. The rest of the organizers, college-age students of mine, are working and trying to help get ready. I am nude, except for what looks like a leather jacket, unbuttoned in the front. I asked students if this look, I love this. I asked students if this look would work for the award ceremony. The students look at it and say that it would work. It could work, but maybe it could be darned, mended, altered. I explained to them that these are variations that fall under the word so, and they are saying the same thing. Wow, Michael, that's very interesting. I like the nude part. That'll be fun to hear what you have to say.
Careful, Sandy, you're giving away the game. So at a big conference and workshop, that's where she starts off, and she's an instructor at a college level. So that's all quite positive. It means she's a spiritual teacher. And she, when we see colleges and universities in rooms, it's always about your spiritual gifts, what gifts you brought with you. So we know she's a spiritual teacher. She says she's become friendly. So this part is kind of funny. She becomes friendly with 2 young adult students, a man and a woman, and then she has issues with trying to decide which one of these is she going to please. And she says at the end of this paragraph that she's in a quandary. And so this part really stood out to me. And the very next piece then is she's in her childhood home. Now it's not a real one, but that's what she calls it in the dream. In the house, it was connected to childhood in some way. And so we know then that it has to be connected to some issues that went on for her. And so I asked her, when it comes to mom and dad, what way did you treat them? Did you try to please both of them? And she said, absolutely. Now, she had horrible issues with her parents, really horrible, like think of the worst. And that's what she had to deal with. But she felt responsible for her parents in some way. And so she was trying to please both of them. And that's what she's doing in this dream. She's in a quandary because she wants to please both the male and the female student. And this has caused her problems then through her life. Any issue we pick up in childhood is going to cause us problems all the way through her life. We're trying to, here in her case, not making a decision and trying to please everybody. It's going to be very clear. She'll know what it is, what it's done for her. So what have we got next? She's preparing for an award ceremony. That's really positive in the dream. So it's like her guides or the universe has given her credit for or acknowledgement for work done. And she's done amazing work with children over the years, over her long career. And it's also outside. That's quite a positive thing in the dream. So she's not finished yet, let's say, with working with people here, even though she's retired from her original career. And then she's trying to figure out what to wear. So this is about the attitude that she needs to adopt. And she's wearing this jacket that's unbuttoned in the front. And it's a leather jacket. I thought she had said leather, but it's a leather jacket that would have been associated with high school in some way. But the fact that it's unbuttoned and she's asking, will this work or not work? So this is kind of funny. She's not afraid to share because she has an unbuttoned jacket. She's almost nude, partially nude in the dream, but yet she's still wearing a jacket. So she has a symbol of protection on, which is what the jacket would represent, but also is displaying more than she should. So again, not afraid to show herself. And that's what being nude in a dream is about. It's about being comfortable with being vulnerable in front of other people, letting people see you as you are. So how do you fit the two together? And that was a bit of a quandary for me, let's say. And so when I channeled on it, it was a bit tricky because I was told clearly she's okay with sharing, yet the dream shows a problem. And I was told that she feels she has to say, after she shares her very uncomfortable story about her childhood and about being abused and all the various different things that happened to her over a long period of time in childhood. She was a selective mute for a period of her childhood. And that's hard to imagine, like not talking for a very, very long time. So she's been through a heck of a lot. But when she shares that story with people, she then finishes with saying, but it's hardened me because of that experience. And not exactly the words she's going to say, but that's the way the guides gave it to me, that she feels like she has to say something like that, like share the story. Everybody's crying in the audience. And then she goes, but I'm better for it. I've grown through it and it's hardened me and I can now deal with things. Why would she do that? Well, because she doesn't want other people in her audience to feel her pain. So she dilutes it by saying something like that. So there we have the almost nude with the jacket. I love the symbolism of it because of how much it conveys, that I am willing to share, but I'm going to protect you by diluting it. Now, why does she do that? And this is something, Sandy, that you would be able to tune into. She's empathic. She picks up other people's feelings. A way to think about this is most of us do not pick up other people's feelings. Yes, we get a sense of how somebody feels, but an empathic feels them in a way like dogs hear. They have 20 times the antenna for picking up other people's feelings. So for them, they feel other people's feelings. And they even get to the point where they have to go, wait a second, I was happy 2 minutes ago. So therefore, this feeling that I have now is not me. I wonder who it is. And they have to kind of like selectively look around the room. And if they can identify, oh, it's that person there, then they can let go of the feeling. That's how confusing it can be. So her feelings are like they're on steroids, and how she feels other people's pain is on steroids too. So when she shares, she picks up the pain everybody else is picking up because they've got hers, and she wants to dilute it in order to save them. But trust me, unless you're empathic, people are not picking it up the way you think they are picking it up. Sandy, what do you think of that?
No, you're right on. That's a very accurate. How did you get that though? Is that the letter jacket?
It's the whole idea of a jacket and also being exposed. You know, if she was wearing like underwear or lingerie or something like that, it would kind of fit with the scene, but a jacket with that does not fit. And so it's like protective, yet at the same time sharing. And yeah, it's really cool. As a symbol, it's really cool. Obviously, her childhood wasn't. But I love how creative we are in our dreams. Just absolutely amazing.
It is amazing. So back to your question about the reason why she would want to dilute it. So she's told her story and she's got a hard shell around it. Now, as people are crying and in pain for her, it doubles her pain because she now feels everything that they're feeling. So it can be unbearable. And I would know. And I know that a lot of alcoholics are because of being this type of person. They pick up other people's feelings and they don't know what to do with them. And it takes a long time to learn how to discern, this is not mine. This is not me. And then you have to constantly have things with you. I call them little touchstones in your pocket to remind yourself that, hold on, I was feeling good. This is not my feeling. I need to get rid of this. So I have a crazy song that I sing, and that'd be my touchstone. Like, what does the fox say? That was my favorite one for many years, because it's a goofy, funny song. And as soon as I start singing it, I laugh, and then I've let go of the feeling of whatever that person was going through. But it can actually bowl over a person. Yep. I think you did a good job explaining it.
I next time you find me drunk at the bar and you say, why are you drinking? I'm going to say, because you're feeling sad and I can't deal with it.
I don't think that's going to work.
I'd have to start drinking first, I suppose. But you never know.
Uh-huh.
All right. So what have we got next? I think we've time for one more.
Picking up the kids from Kay. At first, I was speaking with a school counselor after my son had graduated, talking about the ways in which the school was not supportive of him. Next, it was like I was an older sibling picking up my younger siblings from elementary school. I was sitting in an office chair with wheels rolling through the hallway to their classroom. There were also younger siblings with me. When we got to the classroom, the teacher said we had to go to the next classroom where the kids would be after their last activity for the day. Wow, that sounds interesting, Michael.
All right. So I included this one because this dreamer has been cutting the ties that bind with both mom and dad. And it's taken quite some time. And it's really good. We know when we hit a breakthrough point when we're doing a therapy, whatever the therapy is, you're going to feel it. But your dreams also show it. And this dream shows that she's finished. So we look at the symbols that tell us that. She's speaking to a school counselor, so she's in a therapy counseling, after my son had graduated. So that means we know there's graduation gone on. So she's finished with what she's been working on. This is what we look for in a dream. And the rest of the dream talks about what she was working on, which has not been supported, and relationship stuff. But then she goes through a hallway in a kind of a fun way. Hallways are about transition, so this is a good thing. You're moving on to somewhere else. And she goes to the classroom and the teacher tells her, oh, you have to go to the next classroom. And so that being told you're to go to the next classroom and pick up from there, that's fantastic. It's like you're finished here, these lessons are over, and you have to go to the next place. So it's like this karmic phase of your life is done. You've rounded off all the lessons with the work you've done, and now you can move on to the next level, which will be something entirely different. But I really, really like it. Obviously, she was working on childhood. We see those symbols in the dream, but it's really cool to see it.
Yeah, with all the younger siblings in elementary school, is that giving away the ages?
Yeah, so she did a lot of work over many years. She actually went backwards, starting with partners, going backwards in time, let's say chronologically, right to the source of the issues that she had that was causing her to have difficulty in relationships, and then of course finishing with that is really cool. So it's like I've rescued my inner child, or me at the ages when I picked up all the issues. So here she is collecting those kids, or collecting those aspects of herself that got retarded at the age that we see in the dreams.
Wow, that is really cool. I like that. Well, I can't think of any other questions because I love
Well,
the
we're
way
out
you
of time.
answered that. Oh, okay. All righty. Well, thank you, everybody. I hope you have a fabulous week. And remember, on Tuesday, we have our private dream clinic, and you too could be in that if you wanted. All you have to do is go out to our website, and I'll have Michael talk about it. That way you could get additional dreams done. It's been a lot of fun. Anyways, Michael, I should say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. See you next week. And remember, the links to all our courses and events are under this episode if you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it on any podcast platform. Bye.